Hey Chromies! Today's look was by request, and I love requests. It's a natural look. The request is for some browns, so that's what I did. I used all matte colors actually. If you have a palette at home that uses similar colors, by all means, make it work. The colors that I use aren't as important as just the technique itself. So anyway, if you like the look, stay tuned. So throughout this tutorial there will be times where I'll say you can just stop here, or you can skip. The very first step in creating this look, or all of my looks, is to prime your eyes. And I just cannot stress how important that is, because all this blending that I have here in this eye, it would end up all right about here. A little later in the afternoon. So you can prevent that with a good primer, and I always like to suggest Urban Decay's Primer Potion, and I'll include the link to where you can buy that down below. MAC makes one. They're called paint pots. They work, but I don't think as well. Too Faced, they spell it T-O-O, Too Faced Shadow Insurance. Mary Kay even makes one. But my personal favorite is the Urban Decay, so I'm going to go ahead and start with that. I'm just going to put a little here. And you always want to use your ring finger on your eye because it applies the least amount of pressure. I'm just going to blend that. Cool. Then I'm going to apply Molt, M-A-L-T. It's a matte finish by MAC on the lid, and you just want to use a flat, stiff shader brush. And when I talk about brushes, they make a difference in how the makeup is applied, whether it's more dense and compact or fluffy and for blending. And so this is definitely a flat, stiff brush is definitely best for your lid. So I'm going to just really pack on the color into my brush, just circle right into the pan. I'm going to pack it onto my lid like this. And again, don't sweep. I'm going to pat that color, and because you have that primer on, it's going to latch hold real well. Cool. Next, I'm going to use the same brush. I'm just cleaning the color out like this. I'm going to use one of my favorite highlight colors, which is Shroom. It's a satin finish, which means it has a little bit of a shimmer. So I'm going to pack the color on there and apply that from my brow bone, from right below my eyebrows, down to the color in the lid. Like that. Next is one of my favorite colors for browns. It's a perfect mixing color. It's called Texture, and it looks like this. And again, this is from my Pro palette that I put together. These actually are a little cheaper when you buy them this way. This is like $11, where the pods I think are $14. Anyway, so if you're interested, you can just build your own pod because they're magnetic and they stick in like this. So now this, when I talk about different brushes, this is where you're going to want to use a blending brush, and this is just a fluffy dome brush. This is what's going to sort of disperse the color as opposed to sort of put it in one spot. So I'm going to pick up the texture, color Texture, and I'm going to just swirl it. I do small circular motions right in this crease. And with this color, I'm going to go all the way in to the eye there. But I always keep more concentration of color out here. From here to about here is where the most concentration is. this till I feel like it sort of looks like the other side. Good. Okay, this is one of those spots where you can stop here. If you like the dimensions here, that's perfectly fine. Go ahead and stop here. I would just throw on some eyeliner and some mascara and you'd be done. I, on the other hand, like to add a little bit more dimension. So this is where I would come in with my go-to mystery. It's the dark brown color that I love to use so much. It's also the color that I used in my eyebrows today. So I'm going to use the same stiff dome brush that we used for this last color. Again, go in, pick up the mystery, and I'm going to focus on just keeping it here. Instead of going in a little bit further, I'm going to stop here. So I'm going to just do small circular motions, and this time I'm also going to cover a little bit more of my actual lid with this color. So I'm going to, again, small circular motions, and you can come down here a little bit further, but just stay on the outer third. If you get in too far, you start looking like gothic, or, you know, if you like that, that's fine, but that's not what I'm going for. It can also look just sort of messy. So small circular motions out here. See that it looks the same. And there you have it. So now I add the eyeliner, and I know I've showed this before. For this look, I like the idea of using eyeshadow for the eyeliner as opposed to an eyeliner, because it has more of a matte finish, and I liked that this was a matte look. But if you have an eyeliner, I also have this MAC eyeliner that works just as well. But I'm going to wet a angled brush with just, you can use water. I'm using MAC's Fix Plus. I'm going to pick up some Carbon. I showed you the back. Carbon is just a matte black finish, and I'm going to line my eyelid. And the best way to do this is just, instead of trying to get one perfect straight line all the way across the top, I just do short little strokes like this. And then when you're all done, you can clean up the jagged edges if there are any. I also like to take this in pretty far. And I made a wing on this side, so I'm just evening and making a wing over here for that. Wonderful. Then the mascara, and the trick to that is just tilting your head back like this. Again, sorry, don't look at my nose. And start at the base and just wiggle up. Wiggle up. Like this. And the ones in the end I sort of pull out like this. Come on. And it's best to do thin coats. If you want more, just do a little thin bit like this, let it dry, come back with a second, as opposed to just keep going and going. It's best to let it dry in between so it can build on itself. And a little bit down below, I just look down like this. And then the last step that adds an extra pop, so the whites of your eyes and the color of your eye show, is to tightline. And I just take a black, whoa, lost my train of thought, eye pencil, and just pull a little bit. And there you have it. Now I did this part ahead of time, but this is a great look for bronzers because it's a brown. I like to go a little heavier on the bronzer than I normally would. So I just applied some bronzer here, and then in areas where the sun would naturally hit your face. So I do like to put bronzer here, actually, and then just a little bit across the nose. Finished it with a nude lip. This is my favorite right now. It's Lady Gaga's Viva Glam 2. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed the look today. I really appreciate your suggestions. If you have any celebrity looks, maybe someone at the Oscars or something, certainly shoot me an email. I'd love to give it a shot and make a video on it. So thanks so much, Chromies. Have a great weekend. Bye-bye.